4 years to figure out how it works. I don't know whether I'm a fast learner or a slow learner. It was difficult for me, but then again, I see some of my colleagues, and I'm not sure they're even that far along. There is a myth that the legislative body and the government in general is dysfunctional. That is not true. It functions very, very well for the very, very wealthy, because that's who it is serving.
Yes.
Now, I didn't hear George Lakey say this personally. I'm getting this secondhand, so I might be giving a misattribution to a quotation. He's the author of Viking Economics, wonderful fellow. But he uses the phrase oligarchy deniers to describe us. We're denying the fact that we're living in an oligarchy rather than a democracy. I think that's worth thinking about. Now, obviously, one of the corrupting influences in politics is money. As you may know, I'm the first Maine legislator in 25 years to have introduced an Article 5 convention call to change the U.S. Constitution to overturn Citizens United. Obviously, that effort failed. It failed because the leadership of both parties did everything they could to make certain that it failed, and it did, and it will continue to do so. Everyone is aware that money is corrupting our politics by the money that you see in campaigns. And that's a real irritation, and I could go on for some time about that. But what you may not know, that I'm able to see more easily than you, is that the money affects what I call the loyalty purchases of the legislative leaders. That is to say, I was confused to know that the legislative leaders of my party that I used to be a part of, were working against their own platform. And I was wondering, why would they do that? And then, the answer is very simple. The party needs money to operate. The source of the money is generally corporate money, and so they have to please the corporate entities that are giving them the money. What do they use the money for? They use the money for helping candidates who will be loyal to them, because that's how they get the power that they have as being legislative leaders.
Yep.
Just in the special session with this ranked choice voting vote that we took, you may have seen in the newspaper people say, well, look at these people that switched flipped their votes in order to defeat the ranked choice vote, in order to pass this stupid law that we just passed. And they pick on one of the votes only. There were actually 3 substantive votes, and a dozen people switched between how they voted the first time and how they voted the second time. 3 of them switched back for the third time. 3 more flipped the other way on the third vote. But the leadership voted consistently. But it's the leadership that caused those people to flip their votes. And 7 of the 12 votes that people usually look at to say, well, these 12 flipped, 7 of them are committee chairs. How do you get to be a committee chair? You promise loyalty to the leader. The leader has purchased your loyalty, you accept it, and then you're the chair, and this is the way the system works. So these are the corruptions that I see in the State House that, quite frankly, are just overwhelmingly frustrating, and that's why, in spite of the fact that some of you would be giving me strong encouragement to continue my political career, I'm not.